we're gonna do a workout today using the foam roller. It's gonna be maybe like 75% stretchy foam roller stuff and 25% work, but we're gonna work some work in there, so maybe 50-50, we'll see, who knows. But if you have a foam roller at home, awesome. This is definitely something I would recommend having because it is wonderful and super versatile. If you don't, I mean, you can still do a lot of this stuff, but this is definitely something I would have. This is a 36-inch foam roller. It's nice and dense, but I mean, work with whatever you've got. It is a great tool. So we're gonna start by just laying this thing on the floor, and then you're gonna place your booty on one end and your head on the other. So we're just gonna lie back. Just carefully, we wanna make sure that the head is supported here. So the head and the butt is supported. Perfect. So it's unstable, so make sure your feet are just maybe a little bit wider than hip or shoulder distance apart so you can kind of feel like, oh, this is unstable. I have to work really hard to balance on this thing. So from here, just take those arms across the chest and relax. Just relax your back, and you're just gonna kind of gently roll from side to side. I mean, this is teeny tiny, maybe not even inches. It's little bitty, but you should feel those muscles that run along the spine on either side. They're getting a little bit of a massage, which is fantastic. So we're gonna be using the foam roller to kind of work some kinks out, but also get a little work as well. So this should just feel good, and plus we're getting used to the way the roller moves and the way it moves with us. So then from here, just find that center. It should be running all along from the head to the tail. We want to find our neutral pelvic position here, just like we would on the floor. So we've got the hip bones and the pubic bone pretty level. We might have a little space between the low back and the mat. We might not. That's fine. Remember, this goes along with the natural shape of your body and your spine. We just want to start with some little tilts here. So letting your hip bones drop down, your pubic bone drops or goes up. So you kind of press your back into the roller just slightly, and then you slowly tilt the other direction. So again, we're just tilting our pelvis forward and back, or posterior and anterior. So this should feel good. We're just getting in touch with those deep core muscles, but also loosening up that back. This is gonna feel very similar to a lot of the stuff that we did on the ball. I think that this is harder on the roller. Both are great though. Both are fantastic and a nice little challenge. So then from here, find that nice level position. Hip bones and pubic bone are level. Corset is nice and tight. From there, take those hands behind the head, just a light touch behind the ears. If you'd rather have your arms across the chest, that's fine. Big inhale, exhale, chin to chest. We're crunching up gently. Inhale to relax down. So you should feel instantly like, oh, this is really unstable. So not only is my six-pack having to work, my transversus, that corset that wraps around the midsection, that's having to work as well. Here's 4. We're gonna go for about 10 of these. 5. Exhale up. 6. 7. There's 8. Last 2. And then this last one, crunch up, relax your head down. Release your arms. You're gonna take your hands onto the floor. They could do like a low V or maybe out to a T, whatever floats your boat. What I call these jellyfish hands. So we've got our fingers just resting on the floor. I don't want you to have a death grip on the floor, just gently touching here. Because what we're gonna do, we're gonna change our position. We're gonna slowly maintain that neutral pelvis, lift that right foot, right leg into tabletop, and then set it back down. So we're going right into our marching here. So with this, we've changed what's working. Our upper body is staying relaxed and still. Our lower body is moving, basically just the legs. We're maintaining the stability through the spine and the pelvis. And again, we've got our light touch on the floor. So we're not just pressing into the floor. This is very light. This is keeping us from falling over. I'm sure you figured that out, along with that transversus. This next one, bring that right leg up, hold it. Knee is over the hip, shin is parallel to the floor, lefty's gonna join. Oh, look at that, we're having to stabilize. So if you're not using your muscles, you're gonna be wobbling all over the place. So really tighten that corset, one at a time. Take that right foot down, exhale, bring it back up. So just like the stuff that we did on the ball or on the floor, this is the same thing. We're not trying to touch the floor. We're trying to keep this super stable. So you can think about that marble that we use on the squishy ball being in the middle of all 4 of these points here. Slow and controlled, slowly stabilizing. Let's bring that left leg up. Let's go for both legs at the same time. Inhale, dip, exhale. Shh. Keeping that same amount of space between the low back and the roller. Shh. Inhale down, exhale up. Let's go one more right here, and then we're gonna add that little twist, that little downhill skiing. So feet go to the left, knees go to the right ever so slightly, and then we come back to center. Alternating sides. So this is gonna be wobbly, no matter what. Trust me, if there's no wobble, then, I mean, that's amazing. That's a friggin' miracle. Slow and controlled. Let's even this out. One more, feet to the left. One more, feet to the right. Come back to center, and then just gently set those feet back down. So from here, we're gonna walk those feet out just a little bit wider, again, just wider than hips or shoulders, just not in that like tennis ball position with the feet and the knees, but we wanna have them a little bit wider here. This is gonna help you with that stability. For a challenge, you can always walk the feet in closer, just know that. Let's take both hands back behind the head again, or across the chest, whatever floats your boat. From here, we're gonna lift the right leg into tabletop, hold it. Lefty stays on the floor. As you exhale, crunch it up. This is a challenge. We're just gonna do 5 on each side. Slow and controlled. 4. So again, if you walk that left foot in a little closer, it's gonna make it a little more wobbly, but that's good, that's awesome. Last one right here. Crunch it up. Inhale, relax, take that right foot down, readjust if you need to. Lefty's gonna come up. So lefty comes up into our tabletop position. Find that stability, find that balance. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, down. We've got 5, 4, 3, very wobbly, 2, and last one here. Relax, relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Take both feet back on the mat. We've just got a couple more sets here, I promise. Take those hands back down into that low V or T position, jellyfish hands. Take both legs one at a time, or yeah, in tabletop, you know what I mean. And then we're gonna straighten those legs up to the ceiling if you can, maintaining that neutral position. So from here, we're gonna keep that left leg like it's fixed to the ceiling, like a pillar. Righty is gonna open to the right ever so slightly, and then bring it back to center. So now righty stays, lefty goes. So it's not gonna take much to throw you off balance. That's what we're going for. We're really challenging those obliques here. Tick-tocking those legs from side to side, right and left. Alternating sides. Let's do one more on each side. One more on the right and one more on the left. Coming back to center. Take both feet back to the floor, back to the mat, whatever. Making sure we've got those feet about hip, maybe shoulder distance. You can go wider if you want to. We've got one more set here. We're gonna go for a bridge. So those arms can kind of be wherever. You've got your feet on the floor, so you have something in contact with the floor the whole time. Big inhale. As you exhale, draw the abs in tight. Slowly start to tuck that tail. We're gonna peel up through the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll it back down. Let's just do like 2 or 3. We'll go for 2 more. Exhale, peel it up. 2. And then this last one, peel up. Take an inhale, exhale, roll it back down. Breathe. All right, this is the best part. We're just gonna dismount off of this thing. So just kind of roll off to the side. You can sit up, you can change it however you want. We're gonna move the roller now. We're gonna turn it to where it's kind of perpendicular here. So I want you to lie on your side. I'm gonna start on my right side, and then we'll move from side to side. So I'm gonna take my right arm down onto the roller. We wanna make sure that we don't roll over our elbow or our wrist. That's very important. We don't wanna roll over joints here. So what we're doing is lying on that right side, extending that right arm out. Legs can be extended here.
You can have your legs stacked. I like to separate my feet just slightly so I'm really anchored to the floor here. So we've got a nice long line from the head, shoulders, hips, knees, all that good stuff. The left arm, I like to pretend like I'm reaching to grab something for this exercise. So really keep that right shoulder plugged into the socket so it's safe. Big inhale. As you exhale, lift and reach, back down. So it's like we're reaching and pulling ourselves up. We're going for 2. We've got 10 total. 3, 4. So getting some oblique work. 5. There's 6. Keeping those feet anchored to the floor. 7. There's 8. Last 2. And last one there. From here, you can rest your hand down and then slide that roller to where it's right under your ribs on that right side, kind of below the shoulder, obviously under your shoulder, your armpit. Right hand can either go behind the head or you can rest it on the floor. Bend those knees in. This is a little bit of a stretch here. So we're kind of rolling this stuff out on those ribs, your serratus anterior, kind of your lats a little bit, not really. Take that left hand behind the head. You're gonna inhale, open up, twisting, relaxing. Exhale, kind of roll forward. So we're really resting on this roller. We're rolling out those muscles. We're releasing these muscles along the ribs and under that arm. This should feel really good, especially with that rotation. Inhale forward. If you have big boobs, like try not to squish them. Good luck with that. I don't have that problem, so we're good to go. Good, let's go one more. Just kind of hang here, open, twist, relax. When that feels okay, come on up. We're just gonna rotate, turning to face that roller, getting into an all fours position here. So remember, we're gonna do some push-ups here. If you need to stay on your knees, do it, it's perfect. Otherwise, you can have your hands on the roller. This is a challenge. So if you just wanna do normal push-ups on the floor, please do, it's fine. I'm gonna try these on the roller today because it's fun. So hands are under the shoulders. You can take them wider if you want to. Just remember, this is gonna be unstable. So kind of try this out for a second. Pop those knees up, find that position. So you can see, ooh, this rolls forward and back. We're trying to stabilize. Keep that corset tight, keep that belly pulling in. Bend and push, we're going for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, 2, and last one there. Drop those knees down. Set your tush back to your heels and just kind of enjoy that stretch there. Breathe for a second. We're gonna stay here, but I want you to belly flop on the floor or your mat or whatever. Legs are long behind you and we're gonna extend those arms out in front. So same idea. We don't wanna roll past the elbow or the wrist. I like my palms facing in. Relax those shoulders, really plug them deep into the sockets. Take a big inhale, lift and lengthen, so you're rolling. Exhale, release. So we're doing a swan. That's it. The main goal here is that your hip bones lift. So draw the abs in, lift your ribs, your belly, and your hips. So this doesn't have to be ginormous. We're using the back of the body, but we're keeping the front of the body engaged so that back of the body is protected. Let's go for 2 more. Inhale, lift. Oh, I love this. This feels so good. And last one. All right. Breathe, relax, take a second. We're just gonna flip around, or you can roll completely over, because we're just gonna do our obliques on the other side. So I'm flipping over, so you don't have to look at my butt. Left arm is gonna be on the roller. Remember, we're keeping that wrist and elbow safe. Lying down on that left side. Legs are extended. I like my back leg forward and my top leg back. Does that make sense? Bottom leg forward, top leg back. Just so I'm nice and anchored. Hips are stacked, abs are pulling in super tight. We're reaching that right arm. Inhale, lift. Exhale. We've got 10 right here. 9. Keep that left shoulder nice and safe. 8.
is 5, 4, last 3, 2, and last one here. From there, take that right hand down. You can slide that roller under that left side. Remember, under the armpit on those ribs. We don't want to go too low. We always want to roll where things are protected. Joints, they're not super safe. They can be unstable, so we don't want to roll the joints. We want to roll where there's like big bones. So from here, left hand can be on the floor, right hand goes behind the head. Bend those knees so we're just comfortable here. We're just really kind of relaxing on our hips and the roller. Inhale, open, twist. Just relax, just breathe. That's really all I want you to do. You might feel a difference from side to side. One side might definitely be tighter than the other. Both sides of our body are very different. We obviously have a dominant arm, you're right-handed, left-handed, whatever. That side's gonna usually be a little stronger. It's usually gonna be a little tighter too. Just find where this works for you. Your range of motion might be a little different from side to side. That's fine, it's perfect. Open, stretch. Let's do one more. Gently twisting forward. Open it up. You can stay right there, just enjoying that stretch. If you want to open that right arm, you can. We're gonna get some more stretches for chest and shoulders later, trust me. When that feels okay, come back to center. So from here, we're gonna spin around. We're gonna lie back down on the floor, mat, whatever you've got. And I want you to place your feet on the roller. So we're gonna do a set of bridge with the roller. This one sucks, but it's awesome. So feet are about hip distance apart. We should have that tennis ball or fist distance between the feet and the knees. And just kind of the arches of the feet on that roller. I've got big honking feet, so they wrap over the whole thing, so whatever. Arms relaxed down by the sides. Let's do 5 bridges. Peeling up or using that flat back, whatever. Big inhale, exhale, peel it up. Take an inhale, exhale, roll it down, slow and controlled. So that thing moves. So we really engage those glutes and hamstrings even more using that foam roller. That's why it's a challenge. So it's awesome. It's just more work. Let's go for 3. We've got last 2 right here. 2. We're trying to stabilize that roller the best we can. Last one here, you guessed it, we're gonna stay up at the top. Find that bridge. So just like any other bridge, we should have our diagonal from our knees to our hips to our shoulders, arms relaxed. Keeping everything else nice and stable, I want you to gently try to roll that roller forward a little bit and then roll it back. We're just going for 5, slow and controlled. It's not gonna be a huge range of motion. It's gonna fire up those hamstrings though. There's 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, tuck that tail, roll it down. Take a second, hug those knees into the chest. So now we're gonna roll out those hamstrings, those muscles that we just worked like crazy. So just like the arms we were talking about earlier, we don't wanna roll past those knees. We'll go just to the top of that knee, no further. The hip and the glutes, those are protected by big muscles. So you're good, you can go up on your hip as high as you want. But I want you to just start by resting those legs on the roller just above the knees. Hands are gonna go behind you and just keep those wrists and shoulders, keep that stuff safe. So we're gonna lift up and I want you to just roll forward and back. Remember, not passing those knee joints. Just kind of relax those legs. Toes are looking up to the ceiling, toes and knees are looking up. You might not feel a ton here. That's okay, we're gonna make this more challenging, don't worry. Turn toes in, do a few swoops there, down and up. And then turn toes and knees out. Do a few swoops there. One might feel better than the other. That's fine. We're targeting different muscles here. So what I like to do, I don't really feel this a whole lot, but that's okay. We're gonna make this a little more challenging. So from here, I want you to find that same position, lift one leg into tabletop. So now we're just gonna be rolling out this left leg. Do a few swoops with toes looking up to the ceiling, forward and back. This is gonna be a little more intense, so you might actually feel this roll. That's good. We're releasing not only the muscles, we're manually releasing the muscles, we're also releasing the fascia. We're hoping to release the fascia.
That's like the saran wrap that wraps our muscles. That stuff can get tight and it's really hard to release. Turn toes and knee in a few times, a few swoops there. And then same thing, turning toes and knee out a little bit. And then you can switch sides. One side, again, might be a little tighter, a little more ticked off than the other. Spend a little more time there, that's fine. Relax those shoulders. You're getting a little arm work here because you're gonna hold yourself up, which is awesome. So same thing, turn toes and knee in a little bit. Turn toes and knee out a little bit. Perfect. All right, when that feels okay, set your booty down. So now we're gonna roll our cheekies. I love this, this feels so good. Sit up on the roller, and then hands are gonna be behind you. Let both hips or both knees kind of slide to the right, so you're really on your right cheek. Hands can kind of be wherever, both hands behind, one hand, whatever, it doesn't matter. Roll all the way down that hip, and then all the way up. So this might feel kind of like a ka-flunk, ka-flunk, ka-flunk. Those are muscles that we're rolling over. They're big, strong muscles. So we're trying to release these things. Glutes are kind of hard to stretch, so sometimes we do just need to get on that roller and roll them out. But the more you do this, the easier it gets, I swear. So from here, if that's feeling pretty good, we're on our right cheek. I want you to take your right foot, cross it over that left knee, and then just roll that out. So ankle over knee. So you might find a little zinger in here. That's okay. If you do, kind of stick with it. That's gonna roll that out. It's gonna work that tight muscle out. Do a few swoops there. Then we're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. So both feet can go down, roll both cheeks. So we're on our left cheek this time, or whichever one you didn't start with. Roll up and down a few times. Big range of motion here. We don't want to go above our hip bone, or it's called our iliac crest. Back here, we don't want to go up into our obliques or up into our side. We want to stay on the pelvis. Because again, those are bones and they're protecting everything else that's in there. So you don't ever want to roll your low back. We're going to get to the back in a little bit. But we want to stay where things are protected and safe. Take that left ankle over that right knee when you're ready. Roll out that hip a little bit deeper. Perfect. All right, when that feels okay, go ahead, untangle that pretzel. This one's kind of funky to get into, so I like to set my booty on the floor first and then just gently lie back. So from here, we're gonna bridge up, boop, and we're gonna place that roller under our cheeks again. So under your booty. You can kind of go up a little higher if you want, but you want to be careful of your sacrum. You don't want to roll right on your sacrum, okay? That's a flat bone at the top of your butt. Grab both sides of the roller so you can hold on to this thing so it doesn't go firing out from under you. So holding the roller, keeping that nice diagonal from the hip bones to the shoulders, we're going to lift those legs into tabletop one at a time. So at any time, if you need to adjust where this is, do it. It needs to feel good. So from here, slowly, roll over to the right, both knees go to the right. We come back to center, and then we roll over to the left. So we're kind of massaging the top part of the hips, really targeting what's called our glute medius and our glute minimus. Those are two of our glute muscles. They're kind of hard to stretch too. Again, glutes are kind of hard to stretch. So we're getting those guys and just kind of manually releasing them, and it should feel really good. All right, so now this next one, stay over to the left, and I want you to draw circles with your knees. Give me like 5 small circles in each direction, and this just feels magical. We're just working this junk out. Give me 2, and 1. Release it, reverse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna slowly come back to center. And do the same thing on the other side. So knees over to the right now, give me 5 circles. The nice thing about this is that even though we're releasing stuff and we're really kind of stretching stuff out, we're still having to work. Like my core is totally engaged right here. If it wasn't, I'd totally fall off of this thing. So we're still working even though we're focusing on a little more stretchy stuff today, which is awesome. We need that sometimes. We can't just work all the time.
All right, go ahead, come back to center. From there, we're gonna set those feet down. You can take the roller out from under your booty. We're gonna slowly sit up tall. Take the roller, we're just changing positions, okay? So, we talked about the back for a split second earlier. We're gonna roll out our back. I call this poor man's massage because it's pretty awesome. It's the next best thing to a massage. When you're rolling your back, we only are gonna go from the base of your ribs to that first spinous process that pokes out back here. You should be able to feel that thing. That's a bone. He's poking out. That's as high as we're gonna go, okay? From here to the base of the ribs. Never, ever, ever roll out your low back, okay? There's nothing there to protect your kidneys, all that junk back there, okay? There's bony processes and organs. So here's the deal. Lie back on your ribs, on the roller, arms across the chest. Keep your chin pulling to your chest and you're just gonna lift your booty up. Doesn't matter how high it goes, just a little bit of space so you can move. Roll it up and roll it down. Oh, it's magical. This should feel so good. So we're rolling out all those long muscles along the spine, along the back, the lats, the traps, the erector spinae. There's a million things going on back there. This should just feel fantastic. Give me a few swoops here. Move this down just a little bit. And then you can take your hands behind the head and you can do the same thing here. What we've done here is we've changed the placement of your scapula, your shoulder blade, so you might find some things that are a little tighter up there. That's fine. It might feel better, might feel worse. Who knows? Just feels good. All right, one more swoop. Then I want you to park your booty and move the roller to where it's just below your shoulder blades, okay? From here, arms again can be across the chest or behind the head. Keep your pelvis stable. Inhale, relax back, opening up the front of the body. Take an inhale, exhale. So just take your time here. Inhale back, exhale up. We're not necessarily focusing on the crunch or the upward movement. We're really focusing on that stretch on the way back because it feels so good. Let's just go one more here. Relax back, open your arms and just hang. If you need to move the roller, do it. Take your time here. Just open this stuff up. If you want to take those arms over the head and stretch, it's going to get a little more under those armpits, down through your ribs, down through that transversus. Just whatever feels best here. Take a second. Big inhale. As you exhale, carefully come back up. Last thing here, you guys, this is the best thing on the planet. This is the #1 reason to buy a foam roller. 25 bucks on Amazon. All right, flip this guy. We're gonna pick up right where we started. So booty goes back on the roller, the very edge, and then gently lie back. So my head and my booty are supported here. We've got our neutral pelvic position, but I'm pretty relaxed. I'm not having to tense up too much. So from here, you're gonna take your arms into a goal post position, okay? So elbows are gently bent at 90. And the goal here is to relax the chest and the shoulders. So I'm trying to let my knuckles and my elbows get as close to the floor as I can without forcing anything. I'm not making this happen. I'm letting gravity do the work here. And this just feels so good. So from here, if this feels okay, if you want to make this a little deeper, deepen the stretch, you can gently, slowly start to reach those arms over the head, still trying to keep the knuckles and the elbows as close to the floor as you can, and then slowly bring those elbows back down to the ribs. So we're just gently moving. This is your own range of motion, so this doesn't have to be ginormous. This should feel, again, fantastic. Take your time. If you find a sticky spot while you're moving through this, stay there. Like if this, oh, this is tight right here. So stay there and let it melt for a second. Just take your time. Oh, it feels so good. And this really helps with postural work. You know, over time, we kind of develop that forward fold through the upper body. This has really helped my posture. You can stay here as long as you want. But over time, we do start to kind of forward fold. And so this is gonna help to release this stuff. And as we strengthen our upper back and shoulders, we get that nice tall posture. All right, like I said, you can stay in that goalpost position as long as you want. It's pretty magical. That's it and that's all for today, you guys. Take care.